7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
The Savachi syndrome, I'm telling you, I'm like, well, holy shit, that was crazy. Wait for it. Thick and slick.
All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show Fantasy Podcast. We are here. We're going to wrap up Indy 3. We're going to talk Orlando 1. Before we get started, let's thank our sponsors. So first off, longtime sponsor of the show, basically since the beginning, because, hey, let's face it, is my company, TLR Coatings, custom powder coating, Cerakoting, and vapor blasting. TLRcoatings.com. Make sure to check them out. Also, Premier Custom Trailers, premiercustomtrailers.com. They are your custom trailer needs, whether you need one for residential, commercial use, whatever. They have it, all sorts of them. They work with the best brands, so make sure, again, to look them up. There will be links in the description below. Also on board with us, dirtbikedepot.com, or I'm sorry, thedirt/bikedepot.com. They have used and slightly used and most of the time brand new gear, hard parts, etc. So make sure to check them out. They're also on Instagram with pictures of all the stuff they have in stock. So you can get some of your favorite riders' old equipment on there, which is pretty cool. And then last but not least, helping us out with prizes this year, JT Cycles, your Husqvarna, Gas, Beta, steel saws, right? Am I right?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm over here sleeping. I'm just finishing up these pork chops, and I'm just, ooh.
The pork chops? Fuck, where
Yeah.
you get pork chops from?
Don't worry about me.
All right. Anyway, on the phone with me, normal co-host of the show here, fantasy rival, and still way behind me, Cole Ugeti. What's up, Cole? How we doing today, man?
Oh, doing all right. Long day on the road. Just got home probably 10 minutes ago and straight to this call. And, yeah, ready to talk some fantasy. Hopefully this round goes a little better, but whatever. We'll see.
Hey, man, on the uphand, you're only 36 spots behind me and about 206 points. So you're closing. The gap's closing.
200. What was I before?
Probably like 215, because I think you made up like 9 points on me at Indy 3 because I had a slightly rough day.
Okay. Well, we're rounding the corner, so.
Anyway, like we said, we will be wrapping up Indy 3 here and talking some Orlando 1. Did anybody ever get a hold of us for their prizes for Indy 2 for the 2 for Tuesday?
I have not heard from anybody.
I
no
didn't think
idea.
I saw anybody either. So
yeah, I have no idea where to send them.
hold on, let me back up here because we'll.
So I guess should we do first two people to DM us that listen to this podcast?
Oh God, you know who's gonna be Tars.
Guaranteed.
Oh shit, what am I doing here? I gotta say, I'll tell you what. Let's give it one more week here. If we record the show next week and we don't hear from them, let me pull this up here so I can see who the two people are. So Indy 2 winners on the 2 for Tuesday deal, which is FMF goggles or a Maxima oil change kit, your choice. XL JEH and Showtime 133. So again, guys, if you listen to the show, make sure to DM us. And we'll get your information over to us, what you'd like as far as the prizes go, and we will get those out to you. No problem. You got one more week, and then we're just giving this stuff away to some people, but not quite yet. So, anyway.
Yeah. Well, is there a way? Well, I guess the pulp guys would know how to go in because they sign up with their addresses. We don't have that luxury.
No, we don't have that, so they got to DM us. That's kind of the crappy part about it, but, you know, whatever. What are you going to do? So,
Whatever.
We're
Gets
doing what
gets
we
people
can.
to the Instagram.
Yep. So, anyway, so wrapping up Indy 3, as I said, kind of a rough day for me. I had a couple of not so great points getters here. I did, however, make it in my average. My average is 230 to 260 a week is what I'm trying to hit, and I think I'll finish the year pretty good. However, having a down week when there was so many 52s in the 250 class made things somewhat rough for me. So I scored 243 points. 250 class, I had Thomas Doe, got me 34 points. Joe Schmoda scored me a solid 26. Kevin Moran's, with the rough night he had, only got me 12 points, so that's a bit of a letdown. And but I did have Hunter Sales, who scored me 52, so that was awesome. 450, again, rough night, on the edge of my seat. I had Zach Osborne, only got me 19 points, so that kind of really sucks. I left a lot of points on the table there as far as I'm pretty sure he was an all-star, so as far as all-stars go. Justin Brayton had a rough night and just barely snuck in for double points, but it was a low double point score at 26. Chiz is going to chiz, got me 28. Can't be mad about that. And Marv, my big score in the 450 class for the night with 46 points. I'll take that all day long. Now, on the downside, I did fall back to second place in our league, and I fell down to like, I don't know, 9th, 10th, something like that in Industry Idiots, and I'm now 89th overall in the whole thing. So that's kind of a bummer, but we will return. So what did you have?
I don't know about that because I'm picking up steam.
Oh, God, here we go.
Actually, well, I'm kind of picking up steam because,
Bro,
again, had a fantastic night going until one guy decided to screw it up for me. So, 8 in the main again. I went Christian Craig at an all-star. I mean, that was kind of a no-brainer there. Mitchell Oldenburg at a 0. Not being an all-star and consistently being 5th to 6th all year, and then now you have a hurt Jet, you have no Moseman, etc. You'd be dumb not to go with that pick. So Oldenburg got me 38. Carnow, I went back with him. It's been kind of pick him whenever you can when you're not on the off week, and he is 34 points. So he's a solid pick for everybody every week. And Hunter Sales got me 52. So I know Justin wasn't too big on Hunter Sales. I didn't really ask him why, but did just fine for me, 52 points. So thanks, Hunter Sales.
Yeah, seems okay. So he had actually a really, really, really good night. So that was okay.
Yeah, he was running awesome.
But there were a lot of 52s in the 250 class last week. So
there were, and we'll get into this week. All the handicaps have been adjusted accordingly, and it's going to be a little harder to get those kind of points. But into my 450 class, we'll start right off with a high point guy. I had Marvin, 46. I just figured after 3 shitty rounds, he's got to have a good round. So it's like that's a no-brainer there, especially at a 1, right? So,
yeah.
Plenty there. Next one I had Versace Savachi.
Yep.
32. So solid there.
Okay.
I'll take that. And then Zacho got me 19. He's my all-star. And this is where it kind of come into the theory. I think Paul was talking about it on the Pulp MX fantasy podcast, where if you go with some of these high handicap all-star guys and they don't pay off, then you're screwed because they might have a crappy round and then not be all-stars next week. So that's a perfect example with Osborne right there. So I picked him as an all-star. Had a lot of value there. Thought he was going to do well with a higher handicap all-star. And he didn't. And now he falls out of the top 8 in points, and now he's not an all-star. So there's a big grab there for double points possibly if he can pull his head out of his ass.
That's all right. I fucked that one up too. So whatever.
Yep. So we're in the same boat on that one. And then my last guy. He's about worthless. And I swore I'd never pick him again. But I did. Benny Bloss. 9 points.
Smooth.
I was watching him, and I was
Smooth
like, you're in a decent position. You're getting decent points. Not what I want, but I'll take it. You're catching Chiz, and that's, another couple points there past him. he gets lapped and then wads his cookies. I don't know if Kenny blew by him so fast he just fell over or what happened, but he decided not to finish the race either. So thanks, Benny. Good thing you were rocking a Kansas City butt patch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You
hey,
did about it. You got as many points as they did.
I would say his race went as well as their Super Bowl did. So hey, whatever, no problem. So
Yep. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I mean, I did not go first to the finish line. I'm sure a lot of people went Nichols, and he broke their hearts. But yeah, I mean, this weekend being at the race, I didn't really think way too hard into it, and maybe that's what helped. So that was pretty much my team all day going in. So maybe I should just take that approach.
just not think about it too much.
Yeah,
go
just not
for
think
it.
about it. Yeah, just let it rip.
Huh.
I think I swapped Bloss out at the last minute for somebody else, and I'm hating myself. So
Well, it's
Whatever.
Okay, cool. Well, moving on here. We're going to Orlando. Now, these picks right now are all subject to change. From my understanding, there's a good possibility it's raining all day tomorrow and all day Saturday, so we could have a mutter.
Yep. So
Which
it's a good factor.
Which in that case, throw absolutely everything out the window I'm talking about right now, because I'm going off that they're going to keep that track somewhat decent for the day. If it turns into a sloppy mud fest, dude, I don't even know where the fuck I'm going to go with 250 class. Like,
right off the bat, how's Kev feeling in the mud?
Dude, I don't know. I haven't asked him. Asked him.
He's in shape. That Tom's Hot Motors should stay together. I don't know. So hopefully we can see him. Maybe he'll win. Who knows?
Well, fuck it. I can't pick him, so I'm fucked 8 ways to never on that one anyway. So
No, okay.
but as far as
who you got so far? Who
all
are you
right.
looking at right
Well, I just picked my 250 team while you were talking there. So first up on my list, I have Christian Craig at a 1 handicap for my All-Star. I mean, I picked Shimoda last time. We have zero idea how Jet's shoulder is, and he's kind of a wild card, so I'm out on that. Nichols is a 0 handicap, and I don't really like picking zeros because there's just no upside to it. Oldenburg's too wild for me. Osby's too wild for me, and I cannot pick Shimoda. But Shimoda at a 2, I feel like is pretty good also.
Yep, that's where I'm at.
So I think Shimoda's a good pick if you can pick him. If not, I think Craig. And other than that, man, I don't know as far as All-Stars go. Now, once we get into the rest of the field, well, this is where it starts getting tricky.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
So, first up on my list, I've got Logan Carno with a 6 handicap. Like you said, he's one of those. He's pretty solid. He's been making all the mains. He's had decent finishes. The 6 handicap, he's got I think the ceiling's super low here, but if he can put it in at least the top 15, which I think top 15 is a bad day for him, I think like his last finish was a 12th. I think somewhere between like say a 9 to 12 guy is where he's at. And so even if we get 12th, we do a 6 handicap, we've got double points at 6. I'm still okay with that. I'm still all right with that. I don't feel like that's a bad day for me. Then next up, Devin Simonson. That kid, I was so mad I did not pick him at Indy 3 because he had a fucking bombshell ride at Indy 3.
He did have a good ride.
So I'm in on him here. 8 handicap. He finished 8th last time. You figure even if you drop him back to like 12th. And again, this is all saying that it doesn't rain or they keep the track nice even if it does rain. So I've got him with an 8 handicap. And then last guy here, for the 250 class, let me throw out this wild card here. And if you've listened to the Pulp thing, you probably know where I'm going here. Any guesses before I say it? Big handicap guy. Wouldn't think of him.
Oh, I'm going to look at him. Scott Meshy for sure.
Yes. 14 handicap. Yeah. Orlando. He made the main last week. With that 14 handicap, if he gets in, we're in double points. Like we're solidly in double points. If we can finish anything other than last place, we're pretty good, which last week he finished 18th. So cool. You get in, you finish 18-19 for me with a 14 handicap, I'm Gucci. Now, that pick is definitely subject to change depending upon what his qualifying looks like and what his heat race looks like, but I'm in on that right now.
Yeah, you can definitely send it with him, and then you could double up the send with Max Sanford.
Yeah, he's another one for sure.
So Max Sanford is another one. Hang on a second. Here, I am looking at results. They take top 8 or 9.
What do you mean?
They take top 8 out of the heat. Okay, so
Yeah.
Sanford was one spot out, and Scott Meshy was right behind him.
Okay.
So
they
yeah,
both,
those are.
yeah.
I'm gonna look at those guys. I don't know if I'm ballsy enough to go with that big of a send yet, but that could be the move.
I would say my year's still going pretty well, so that's a pretty big send for me. Another person I'd look at would be Hunter Schlosser at a 10. He had a rough Indy 3 there, finished 21st, but I think he's definitely, I mean, let's face it, he's a top 15 guy, so I think that's a decent pick. Lane Shaw at a 10. What happened to Lane Shaw last week? I don't even remember.
I'm not sure either. He had a bad heat. I think he went down on the first corner or something.
Okay, yeah. So he's a 10 handicap. He's another one I would definitely look at as an option there. But man, that's pretty much it. Everyone else, you pretty much get pretty sendy. I mean, you've got Curran Thurman, and if you could get Curran Thurman on the
I'm all the way out.
Then you could nail it. But man, he is. It's tough getting him on the up weeks, man, because it's not great. It's not great. So
anybody else scares me, man.
Anybody else you're looking at 250 wise?
So my team currently, I have Kev.
Okay.
I have Simonson just because I know he trains at club, and I don't know if you've seen some of the footage from how rutted the track and stuff gets there.
It's rough.
So if it is a little muddy and wet, I think he'll be good. Another guy that could fit into the same category. Because of that is Luke Neese. And then I have Grant Harlan at a 2, especially with some outdoorsy conditions, ruddy, etc. Grant Harlan at a 2, I think, is a shoo-in for the top 10. But I'm definitely going to consider sending it. I'm a little shook, but going to consider the send on the 214 guys of Sanford and Meshy. Meshy, whatever. Meshy. And then I have Joe Shimoda as my all-star. But, like I said, I'm definitely going to look at those guys to send with, and I'm definitely going to consider the mud factor. I know Sanford is from Maryland, so he's probably experienced some mud at some time of his life. And same with Bobby Piazza at a 13. He's a Maryland boy.
Yeah, but
he's on a stock bike.
Bobby's, I don't know. I didn't pick him on what's it called on last week, and that was an indoor stadium. Like, if it's outdoor and it's a mutter, that's, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm just going with the real safe team right now, and that's Kev, Simonson, Harlan, and Joe Shimoda.
Yep. So, all right, let's move to 450s here. And I have half a team, and I don't know where the fuck I'm going beyond this first half of a team.
Ooh, before we get started, can I sell you on 2 all-stars?
There is a high probability, if it's a mutter, I will have multiple all-stars. High probability. Okay. Strictly for the fact of, I don't know, man, in the mud. Now, there's a couple here, especially if it's muddy, that I would consider as far as non-all-stars. Now, first off would be Aaron Plessinger. Even though it's a 0 handicap, he's good in the mud.
Yep, I'm looking at him.
Really, really good in the mud. Outside of that, I don't know as far as mud goes. I thought I had 2. I only had 1. I lied.
Yeah, well, I guess I could just start with my thoughts and who I've got on my team so far.
Yeah, go for it.
Historically, Justin Bogle has been pretty good in the mud. He's led some mud races. I don't know if you ever realized that, but usually when there's some mud, he leads for a little while. Depends on if his starts are back, but I remember, I think it was the race with the Lime Gate or whatever. I think he led.
Really?
He was leading.
Interesting.
So, or one of them, or maybe he led a heat race or something. But he's a decent mud rider. Just to get this out of the way too, Dean Wilson, McElrath, and Anstey are expected to make their returns. Out of those
Yep.
3 guys, I'm definitely going to look at Anstey because of the mud.
He's actually
But if
on
it's
my
dry,
team.
no chance he scares me. Brayton, I'm out. Not enough there with a 2. Tyler Bowers, I'm all the way out. Martin Davalos, I'm out on that 6. So there's not a ton of big moves to be made. I mean, Henry Miller is making his return. He's a good outdoor guy.
I'm out on that.
Can he make a
100%.
450 main? I don't know. 14. If this was outdoors, I'd pick him all day. But, and Alex Ray has COVID, so he's out.
Yes, I heard that too.
He's probably at the bar after.
More than likely.
Probably the same one I went to, honestly. But, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go Eli just because of his clutch issues in the mud. That scares me at an all-star. Brock Tickle, Michigan boy at a 4. That's one to look at too, but the chances are I'm going 2 all-stars probably.
Yeah, it's just, man, there's so many question
And-
marks here as far as like once you get off the all-stars of like what are they really going to do?
Right. So my team as it sits right now is Barsha at a 6 for an all-star. That's kind of a no-brainer, especially with his history in the mud. McElrath at a 4. I'm not sure how good he is in the mud. And then Dino at a 4. He's got to be 10 to 14 for sure. I would hope anyway. And first time all year, I'm upset that it's taking me this long to pick him, but I got to go Chisholm. He just delivers time and time again.
Chiz is going to chiz, but I feel like he's one of those that's kind of on the very, very fringe now that we're getting McElrath, we're getting Wilson back. I have Anstey on my team. I put Bogle on my team. I don't know. I'm all the way out on Bowers. I can't pick Brayton at a 2, and I'm kind of out on him. Chiz is a 9, and I can't pick him. AC is my all-star right now with a 4 handicap. I like AC with a 4 handicap because he's a top 5 dude even when he goes down. Freeze at a 7 doesn't seem very good for me. Hartenraft is a 50-50 chance whether he even makes the main. Shane, I'm out at a 4. I just don't think coming back right now. He's a top 8 dude. Marv as an all-star at a 7, I think is a pretty solid pick there. Obviously, Zacho at a -1. I think you can't really go wrong with that. Savachi at a 1, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not enough in a lot of spots for me.
No.
So.
And because it's such a sketchy, like, what is really going to happen, I guess I'm going to go back to Savachi right now just to get a tentative team going. But, man, this team is subject to change a lot when we get rolling here. Because, you just never know until you start watching practice. So, I'm not going to do first to the finish line. I'm completely out on that until we get to outdoors. There's just no way I could even make that happen in my mind. So,
yeah, I'm completely out on that too. So, I'm right there with you.
It's just not a thing for me right now. So I know some people are getting wild picking like Craig or Nichols in the 250 class, but I cannot make it happen. In the 450, it's such a toss up. Like, I'm out. Like last week watching Q2, I would have said Cooper Webb all day long, FFL, no problem. And then he gets in the main and gets like a fucking 10th place start, and it's just ridiculous. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got, man.
Yeah, that's all I really have to. I'm really going to be leaning toward the 2 all-star thing, especially with the mud factor. So.
Yep. Yeah. I don't. Like I said, it's all subject to change because if we do get into some mud, it could be a big issue. So yeah, I don't know. So,
yeah. No, I'm the same way, and I'm just trying to chug along.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm not to the point where I really want to start sending it yet.
Me neither.
17 rounds. Yeah, maybe after Daytona, if I'm not looking any better, I'm gonna start sending it all the way out. So
I'm still in the top 100, so I'm okay. When I start falling out of that top 100, you're going to see me start to get a lot more sendy. So next week we
yeah,
got West Coast 250 coming up, so that'll be awesome. No prize this week, but next week we'll have to. I'm actually super glad. I almost booked flights and went down to Florida for the next 10 days to go to these races. And then I kept hearing how shitty the Orlando Stadium is. And then the weather was going to be bad. And so I'm super happy I did not pull the trigger on those because we were close.
yeah.
I was real
Yeah,
close
good
to
thing.
leaving Friday.
Nah,
So,
fuck that.
yeah, but like I said, with the weather supposedly being the way it is now, I'm very happy I didn't go. So anyway, okay. Anything else for this, or we're good?
No, we're good. I think just keep it moving. Check out the show on YouTube. Give us some feedback.
Yeah.
The only way we get better is just hearing criticism. So
Have you? So I put the NBC Sports video rights rant video up this morning, and I'm not sure if you've seen it. We've got.
oh yeah, I gotta get the thumbnail made for that.
Yeah, and we.
I went in and changed the
Yep.
title though.
Oh, did you?
I put NBC is screwing AJ Canzaro.
Well, I mean, hey, whatever. So, yeah, that is getting some traction for us, which I'm like, well, we are absolutely never. I mean, like, seriously, one of these times I'm going to show up at the races and there's going to be a picture of my face on the door. Just like, don't let this fucking guy in.
I don't think you're gonna get thrown out like Dave Portnoy.
I mean, maybe. Who's Dave Portnoy? Who are you talking about?
You don't know who Dave Portnoy is?
The name sounds familiar, but I don't know. As soon as you say
You're
it,
kidding me.
as soon as you say it, I'm going to know. So go ahead.
Are you fucking with me?
No, I'm really not. The name
You
sounds.
don't know who Dave Portnoy is.
Okay, I don't know who he is right offhand with the name. As soon as you say
Oh
what the
my
hell's going on with him, then I'm gonna go like, oh yeah, duh, I knew that.
What do you think? Where are you at right now?
I don't know.
Who do
He's
you think
probably
he
somebody
is?
who got thrown out for something. So hit me with it. Let's hear it.
NFL kicked him out of the Super Bowl.
Oh, it's
Like
a
Roger Goodell said, get this guy out of the Super Bowl.
Was that that wasn't the streaker guy, was it?
Dude, it's the guy who started Barstool Sports.
Oh, really? No, I had no
Yeah.
idea. I don't give a fuck about sports, dude. I don't think you understand.
Yeah, but Barstool Sports is more than sports.
It doesn't matter to me. I have zero idea who the fuck that guy was.
Oh my gosh!
Like,
All right.
I've heard his name a couple of times
You
just
get a
from the
pass on
fact
that
he
one.
owns Barstool Sports, but outside of that, I could give two shits about sports.
Remember the name.
So they kicked him out. Why'd they kick him out of the Super Bowl?
Something like he's always talking shit about Goodell and how the
Well-
NFL's rigged and he's a clown and all this stuff. And he was at the Super Bowl with a disguise on, and they grabbed him and dragged his ass out of there.
I mean, I have some strong thoughts about the NFL. We won't get into them because they're highly controversial. But well, I mean, hey, dude, if you can't take the criticism from people, then fuck
So
off.
Brady's win was rigged.
I have other controversial thoughts about the NFL.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we'll get into that another time.
Probably
We'll just
not.
wrap this up for now.
Probably not. Yeah, we'll just wrap this up. But like I said, the NBC video is getting some traction, and pretty much all the comments are, yeah, fuck NBC. And I'm like, oh boy. Oh boy. Next thing you know, this is going to end up like the Ziegler video. It's going to be on somebody's fucking suggested list to NBC. They're going to see it. And like I said, I'm going to be the fucking, I'm going to be on Feld's most wanted list, not getting into the races. It's going to be great.
That's fine. Let her rip.
Hey, dude, I'm going to try to get a hold of Sean Brennan at some point. I want to talk to him on the podcast.
Talk to who?
Sean Brennan. Do you not know who Sean Brennan is?
No, we're getting Dave Portnoy.
No. So Sean Brennan is head of media relations for Feld for Supercross.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
All right.
So at some point I'm getting him on the show here, which we'll have to talk about some show things too here once we get off. So, all right. Now we've rambled on for 5 minutes. Let's wrap this up. So this has been another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show Fantasy Podcast. Oh fuck! I didn't say this at the beginning. Make sure to play with us on. That sounded bad. We play on.
They know by now.
On PulpMXFantasy.com. Go follow our league, the Moto Aftermath Show, and join it. DM us for your chance to win prizes. Even if you haven't been in the league, you can still join the league. You can still win the year-end prizes if you have been playing. And so we're getting people trickling in still. But go do all that. Make sure to check out the sponsors. Links in the description below. And we will be back next week with another fantasy show. See ya.